If you're watching this because you've just become a parent, or you're about to, or you're simply trying to make sure you're not missing something that could matter years from now, then stay with this until the end. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't about perfect parenting, and it isn't about doing everything right. It's about understanding something most people never get clearly explained until it's already in the past. In the first year of your baby's life, there are invisible windows opening inside the brain. And what happens inside those windows quietly shapes almost everything that comes after. Not just how your child learns, but how they feel, how they connect, how they respond to stress, and even how they see themselves in the world. Right now, while you're focused on feeding schedules, sleep cycles, diapers, and just getting through the day, something far more complex is happening underneath it all. Your baby's brain is exploding with growth. Not slowly, not gradually, but at a speed that will never happen again in life. Millions of neural connections are being formed every single second, like a massive electrical network building itself from scratch. Every sound your baby hears, every face they study, every touch they feel, every moment of comfort or discomfort is being recorded in physical wiring. And here's the part most people don't realize until much later. The brain is not just building endlessly, it is also editing itself, strengthening what gets repeated and quietly removing what doesn't. By the end of this first year, the brain begins a process where unused connections are trimmed away, not because anything is wrong, but because efficiency is the goal. It's like a gardener shaping a growing tree. The strong pathways remain and become faster, while the unused ones fade. Which means what gets reinforced now becomes the foundation everything else is built on. And yes, the brain can still change later in life, it always can, but it never again does it with this level of ease. Later learning requires more repetition, more effort, more intention. Right now, it's effortless in comparison. The groundwork is still flexible, still forming, still waiting to be shaped by experience. What makes this even more important is that most of this shaping doesn't happen in dramatic moments. It happens in the ordinary ones. The feeding you barely remember, the way you respond when they cry at 3 a.m., the way you talk to them while folding laundry, the way they fall asleep on your chest and you sit still just a little longer. These moments feel small, but inside the brain they are everything. And there's something else even more surprising. While the daytime is when your baby is gathering experience, it's during sleep that the real construction work happens. During deep sleep and dreaming phases, the brain takes what was experienced and decides what matters. It strengthens some pathways, connects patterns together, and removes what wasn't used enough. In a very real sense, sleep is when the brain builds the structure of who your child is becoming. Without rich daytime experiences, there's nothing meaningful for the brain to organize at night. So when we talk about the 7 things you must do before your baby turns 1, we're not talking about tricks or hacks. We're talking about aligning with how development already works. The first thing is learning what's called serve and return, or what you could think of as connection-based response wiring. Imagine your baby kicking their legs, making a sound, staring at you, or reaching out with tiny movements. It might look random, even playful, but inside their brain, something very serious is being tested over and over again. Do my actions matter? Does anything happen when I do something? Every time you respond, that question gets answered. When they cry and you come, when they babble and you respond, when they reach and you acknowledge them, a loop is formed. Action leads to reaction. Effort leads to outcome. Over time, this builds something deeply foundational, a sense of personal agency, the internal belief that I can affect the world. The best thing you can do is respond in a way that feels consistent and connected. Let them initiate sometimes. Let them start the conversation, even if it's just a sound or a glance. Then respond back like it matters, because to their brain, it absolutely does. The second thing is something most parents feel without fully realizing it. Your emotional state becomes your baby's emotional state. This is known as co-regulation. At this stage, your baby does not yet have the ability to calm themselves. The part of the brain responsible for emotional control is still years away from maturity, so they rely on yours. When you are calm, even if tired, even if overwhelmed but steady, your baby borrows that regulation. They learn what safety feels like through your nervous system. Your breathing, your tone, your tension or softness, all of it becomes data for their developing stress system. And the opposite is also true. A constantly stressed or unpredictable emotional environment doesn't just create temporary distress, it shapes how the nervous system expects the world to behave. The third thing is protecting your baby's early social calibration. From the very beginning, babies are studying faces like researchers. They are not just seeing people, they're analyzing tone, expression, eye contact, emotional energy. The part of the brain that detects social safety is already active and learning what different types of people feel like. This becomes the filter through which future relationships are interpreted, whether someone feels safe or uncertain, familiar or overwhelming. That's why it matters to respect their cues. If your baby turns away, becomes quiet, or avoids eye contact in a social moment, that is communication, not rejection. It's their nervous system saying, "That's enough for now." Gradual exposure to new people and environments builds confidence, but forcing interaction too early can teach the brain that social situations are overwhelming rather than safe. Following their comfort level now helps shape how they approach relationships for years to come. The fourth thing is protecting natural movement, which is one of the most underestimated parts of early development. In this stage, your baby is building what we could call a physical map of the world, a sense of gravity, balance, direction, and body awareness. This comes from movement, rolling, reaching, pushing up, crawling, falling, and trying again. When babies spend long periods in containers like swings, bouncers, or seats, their movement is restricted, not just physically, but neurologically, because the brain is constantly collecting data about how the body moves through space. The vestibular system, the proprioceptive system, and motor pathways all develop through experience with gravity and effort. Floor time matters deeply here. Not controlled, assisted positioning, but real, sometimes messy, sometimes frustrating movement. The kind where they have to figure out how to shift their own weight and coordinate their own body. That struggle is not discomfort to avoid, it is information the brain needs to build itself correctly. Now, before moving forward, it's important to understand something. Everything so far has been about skills, things your child will do, abilities they will build, ways they will interact with the world. But what comes next goes deeper. It's not just about capability, it's about shaping internal traits that last far beyond childhood. The fifth thing is something that feels uncomfortable for almost every parent, not solving every frustration immediately. When your baby reaches for something, struggles, gets stuck, or becomes visibly frustrated, your instinct is to help instantly, and sometimes that is right, but not always. Because inside mild struggle is where resilience begins. When a baby attempts something slightly beyond their current ability, the brain activates effort systems that increase focus and persistence. If they succeed through their own action, the reward response becomes stronger. The sequence of trying, struggling, and finally achieving creates a powerful learning loop. Effort leads to outcome. The sixth thing is building language through rhythm, not just words. Language is often thought of as vocabulary, but in reality it begins as interaction patterns, the back and forth timing of communication. You speak, you pause, you wait. Then they respond in their own way, and you respond again. This rhythm teaches the brain how conversation works long before actual words are understood. It builds the structure that language will later fill. That's also why real interaction cannot be replaced by screens. A screen speaks at a child but does not respond to them. It does not pause for their specific moment. It cannot adjust in real time. But you can, and that responsiveness is what builds the language system. Talk through your day. Describe what you're doing, name what they're looking at, but most importantly, pause. Let space exist. Let them respond, even if it's just a sound or movement. And if you speak more than one language, use them naturally. The brain doesn't get confused, it expands. And finally, the seventh thing is becoming a secure base. This is the deeper foundation behind everything else. Your baby is constantly asking a silent question: when I need something, will someone come? If the answer is consistently yes, the world begins to feel like a place that is safe to explore. that becomes attachment. A secure base doesn't mean constant presence or perfect parenting, it means reliability. When distress happens, you respond often enough and consistently enough that your baby learns they are not alone in their experience. From that safety, curiosity grows, exploration becomes possible, learning becomes stable instead of anxious, and later in life, this becomes the template for how they relate to others and even themselves. And somewhere in all of this, there are moments you won't recognize as important while they're happening. The way they fall asleep on you and breathe in sync with your chest. The way their hand wraps around your finger without letting go. The way they look back at you while crawling away just to make sure you're still there. These moments feel ordinary in real time, but they are not ordinary at all. Because one day, without warning, they stop. The last time happens without you knowing it's the last time. And the version of your baby that needed you in this exact way begins to change into someone new. So if there is one thing to take from all of this, it's not pressure, it's awareness. You are not being asked to be perfect. You're being invited to notice, to see that what feels small is actually forming something enormous underneath. Every response, every moment of patience, every act of presence is shaping a human being in real time. And the fact that you care enough to even think about this already means you're paying attention to what matters most.